Hey everybody, welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest, he was the champion at the Arnold Classic in the Classic Physique division back in early March. It seems like a million years ago. This is the longest year of everybody's life. Please welcome, all the way from Miami, Florida area, Redcon 1 athlete, Alex Feo Cambronero. How are you, man?
How you doing, bro? Good,
now,
good.
Are you doing this interview in a Foot Locker store?
Yeah, we're still in my shoe room. That's kind of like my
Okay. So this is how many pairs? Yeah, can you give us a little tour? A lot of people out there are into sneakers. They're gonna dig on this.
Yeah. Start over there.
Okay.
Goes all the way down.
It's a lot of Air Jordans. I see a lot of Jordans. Oh, there's a bunch on the floor, of course.
They're all Jordans.
They're all Jordans.
Yeah. They're all Jordans.
Do you have like every pair of Jordans going back like 25 years?
I have all of them, yes. And different colors.
Wow. Now, do you wear these or you just put them on a shelf like a museum?
What I do, I mostly use all of them. Some of them that I don't want to use, really, I buy two pairs of the same. One to wear, one to keep, just like, so.
Is there another room do you have another room where they're just in the boxes? They've never been out of the box?
Yeah, the other room have the boxes. I had some boxes there. Okay. And for example, I love this.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I have these and I wear them a lot. And they're the most comfortable shoes that Jordan had. Some of the most comfortable. And then I have it on the shelf right there, I think. Right?
Nice. Let me ask you, what are these? I used to buy them years ago. It's been a long time. What do they cost new now? What's the price range on Air Jordans?
From $125 to $500. It's just like retail price, but some of them you can't buy retail price. You have to pay $1,000, $800, depending on the shoes. I'll give you an example. There's some shoes that you pay $200 and then there's $500, right?
Yeah.
But just like this, these are like real leather.
Yeah.
And so the retail price is like $600.
Jeez.
And that's the retail price. Normally if so. And then when resale prices are the ones that it get crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Thank you. I don't want to make this all about sneakers, but that is quite a collection you have there.
Wow.
Yeah. So we haven't actually talked. We talked right after you won the Arnold backstage, a real quick interview, but I haven't talked to you really since the Arnold, and that was we're in. It's been over 6 months since you won that show now. Does it seem to you like it was like 10 years ago? Does this year seem like a very long year? 2020.
Look, I have people tagging me in their stories in Instagram, and they even post Arnold Classic Champion 2019. So you can imagine how people, in their brain, how far they think that there was the show. They even think that it was 2019, right?
Right. Yeah.
So that's what they called me.
That was George Peterson, everybody.
Yeah, it was George Peterson, man. Yeah, it was still 2020.
Alex was 2020, guys. This is all been 1 year. I know it doesn't seem like it. So I really haven't get a chance to ask you, how long did it take you to realize, let it sink in that I'm the Arnold Classic champion? Because a lot of guys, they win, they say, it doesn't really feel real yet. It hasn't really sunk in yet. When did it sink in that you were the Arnold champ?
It's most the reaction of the people around you, people that really love you. You feel how happy they are, truly happy. So you're kind of like, wow, I did something really big. Because everybody just talk. They don't even have an idea how hard it is. They never been part of something like that. So, we appreciate that they show and happiness and stuff like that. But you realize what you do when the people that really love you and how they express and their faces and their reactions. So that's pretty much what it fulfilled me after winning the Arnold, because I think I have, and not only me, but William and Andre and the other champions, Natalia, couldn't enjoy what they did, what we did, and the Arnold. Because if you ask me how do you process and to know that you won, but mostly everybody just show and other shows, the expos, and then you realize, yeah, I'm in the champion, and you see it in the expos and the shows that you're like, wow, and people talk to you like, wow, yeah, I am. But now you kind of like have that enjoyment erase and you keep it in at home, you know.
Have you been to, how many pro shows have you been to since Arnold? Have you been to any?
I went to the New York Pro in Tampa.
That's right. Yeah, I saw
and that's it. I only that show. Yes.
Yeah.
It's just weird because you couldn't even enjoy the people. It was, it was weird environment, right? It was kind of like
the masks.
Yeah. It wasn't like the same thing, It is some people you'd even say hi because you don't recognize it with the mask.
I recognize you though. I knew that was you. But it was a
my green eyes. You can miss that.
You're a good looking dude. But go back to Arnold. That was a great win for you because going into that show, everybody was doing their previews. Who's going to win? And I thought Steve Loris was going to win that show. A week out, 2 weeks out, just because he looked so good in 2019. He was so close. I kind of had him winning. I thought he had more of a classic look than George. And now I can say that because George moved on to 212. So I'm not a George Peterson hater. Only when he was in classic. Now that he's in 212, I'm like, yay, George. But, nobody was really saying Alex Cambronero is the favorite to win the show. But once you guys got up there, I was like, oh boy, I think
people don't like to read. People don't read. Yeah. When all these interviews with those, media outlets that we have in the industry, we're talking about. They even express that on paper, this guy. You guys have to read. Read on paper. Yeah. I have more pro wins than the entire lineup of the Arnold. The entire lineup. You put it all together. They don't have not even half of my winning. So on papers, well, you're still humble. And you're like, okay, I keep working. And I hear all you guys talking. And I was feeling myself. I was mental writing down all this stuff. But I have an interview with you, and so if you guys, and I'm not saying this as a arrogant. I don't saying that arrogant, but I told you in that interview, if you guys don't take me consideration to win this show, you guys know nothing about this. Yeah. Okay, it wasn't nothing as expressed as oh, what do you think you are, Alex? No. What I am and the other guys are, right? I have more wins than the entire lineup. That's one thing. And the second thing, I was placing 6th in the Olympia, and I showed that these guys not even compete. So on papers, and I get really offended with it, okay? Because I pay my dues, and people are measuring me because of the popularity and fucking social media. They're not measuring me on my accomplishment as a 212, and even as a classic, winning the Pittsburgh Pro, and my first time competing as a classic, second on the New York Pro. Yeah. And then I played 6th at the Olympia in my first time, right? Yeah. I mean, I battling from a body of 212 coming to the classic, and I'm doing that. Yeah. I'm not starting as a classic. I came down to classic. And you said, yeah, but you have to do it because you weren't doing good at the 212. I just placed 8th at the Olympia at the 212 when I decided to move with 193 pounds. So you have to take all the in consideration if you call yourself as an expert in this area, because are you looking, when you talk about this and you don't even know the names of the possible winners, you shouldn't be talking. You shouldn't be talking. We're like, oh, I don't know the other guys. So I have Santi and I have Steve and I have Terrence. So you don't know my name? You shouldn't not even talking. Yeah. Because you don't know the name that the guy just played 6th at the Olympia. So why were you doing? That's just your job.
Yeah.
If I'm not popular in Instagram, you still have to know who plays at the six of the Olympia. If you want to talk about this, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy how Instagram, and it's mainly Instagram. It's how many followers you have on Instagram has become such an important thing. It's ridiculous. And some guys, there are people that are like Jay Cutler and Kai Green who have millions of followers and everything, but there are also some very, very good bodybuilders like yourself who, I don't think Instagram is your life. Like, you don't wake up thinking, what am I going to post today? You've got more important things to worry about. But it's kind of like this young generation. If you're not big on Instagram, they don't really know who you are. Even if you had 6 wins in the 212, was it 6 or 7?
No, I had 4 on the
4 is
212.
the 212, yes. And 2 now as a classic, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going into the Olympia in 3 months. We're 12 weeks out. We're speaking on a Saturday, and again, they're going to start coming up with who's the favorite for the Olympia. And right now, of course, the 2 names everyone's throwing around are Chris Bumstead and Breon. That's like the Jay Cutler, Ronnie Coleman rivalry. Huh?
He should be.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, we got the 2-time champ, and Bumstead's a champ, and Breon wants title back. But then when we start thinking about who else is in the show that's really good to worry about, your name should come up right after that, because you're the Arnold champ. You've beaten most of these guys already that are going to be qualifying for the Olympia. We only have 2 more chances, the Spain show and Chicago Pro. And after that, that's it. Nobody else is qualified. So we look at all the list of people qualified, the names. What have they done? What are they, who's beaten who? And you should be at the very top of that list after Breon and Chris. I don't know if you can beat Breon or Chris. Maybe you will. I've seen stranger things happen in bodybuilding.
Well, you thought that I couldn't beat Steve.
Yeah, I didn't think you could beat Steve.
And Terrence.
Look at that. So you know what? Nobody's unbeatable. And, people get better. You've been getting better. Let me ask you that. Do you think you're becoming a better classic physique? Because you were a very good 212 competitor, and you're just starting out, really. This is still you're not even 2 full seasons in as a classic physique competitor. What ways have you become better in classic? Like, what areas have you really emphasized or de-emphasized with your training?
Well, it's the look, because I have, I'm a very balanced guy. So when I did my first show, or my first Olympia, actually, the Olympia, we were actually looking my base point. So we were figuring it out then. And then, like, just 2 weeks later in Italy, you can see the change dramatically. So we kind of like adjust that. And if you see how close those shows was, right? From Olympia to Italy, and then the Arnold, mostly 80% of the guy will be shadow of their bodies, tires, right? But we figured out how to adjust, and actually came better than the entire year when at the last show. So Pittsburgh, New York, Olympia, Italy, and then the Arnold, and I came better than all these shows. And we figured it out then, right? Another thing is that when I started competing, even Pittsburgh, New York, and the Olympia, I was posting like a 212. You see that? You see my front double bicep. You've seen all this, like the transitions of the. It was very, very bodybuilding, and then it comes the Arnold. And I told in an interview, and I even posted, I say, just because I don't doesn't mean I can. And it was about the vacuum. And I come out with, I know the people like, well, he doesn't have a vacuum. He's well, I come out with a vacuum. I come out with the condition and the balance, most important, right? The balance. So I fix all this stuff. Now, another thing that most people even have me, it's like, well, he don't post. It's and for example, in the Arnold, everybody told like, well, in the prejudging, I don't know who's gonna win, but at night when they post, you know who's gonna win. No, we come out posting like a motherfuckers. It's an evolution of the classic. It was very. You saw that Santi. It was we were backstage like, this man, he was great. Steve was great. Terrence was great.
Yeah,
I didn't fuck up.
No,
So
that's strong.
that's another thing. So we fix all the stuff. So I become a real classic, complete real classic bodybuilder. That's what I become. You
Alex,
know?
I want to know how you became a better poser. Did you have somebody help you, or because that's not easy to go from a bodybuilding type of poser. Classic is a whole other level with the transitions and the hands and everything. How did you get so much better?
It's just practice, practice, practice. But I see practice, not practice to practice, just working to get better. That's what I did. Working together, I see those guys practice and practice and practice, but they don't get better. And I did that transition. That's something that is new in the industry. You saw guys that come with a big belly. And you're like, how this guy come out with no belly the very next freaking year? I saw that.
Rolly did that.
Rolling through that. And then I saw Jay Cutler coming with no glutes, like a baby glutes, and then he come out like a striated glute, like crazy like that. And so we are athletes, we elite athletes. So everything that we have to fix, we fix it. If so I mean, it's gonna make the difference between you being in the elite and the guys that are just good or the regular guys, right? And I think in order to get to that point, I mean, you cannot have weeks and your posing or and even in your body,
Right.
So I trying to make that. So my game is actually being the most uh, uh, complete as possible, because there's some crazy guys that have crazy genetics and forms. So, but here's the thing, Ron, that you and everybody, I think the industry have to understand this. You don't win shows because you have the best from double bicep. Mm. You have three other opposing, okay? Yeah. So you need to develop a back to beat the other guys. Mm-hmm. Now, if you have the best legs in the entire show, make sure the upper body can match that. Because people are like, oh, but it hurt. Yeah, doesn't match. This is bodybuilding as classic. You have to be balanced. Yeah. I can come with the best biceps on the game. It's like, fuck, and I can be very popular because of that. Right. Yeah, but how about your lower back, upper back, traps? How about your shoulders? I mean, you don't have abs, but you have to have everything. Right. And then people always compare, like, he had bigger legs than you. But I have everything the same. Everything is the same. And other thing that I've been actually frustrated when people commenting and talking about a competition like that, if he came with condition. This is not something that is just like, it's there and you just take it. Yeah. No, if that's that easy, okay, we'll have Big Ramy winning an Olympia that year.
Yeah, absolutely.
We have Rolly winning the Olympia last year, probably. Mm. It's like, oh, he comes to don't stop. It's not gonna it's not that easy. It's like just saying, come bigger. Oh, you just like witch. Yeah. It is not a witch. You have to come with the condition. Then the condition means that you come full, dry, grainy. Right. And all these things people forget about when they compare in this competition. It's like, yeah. Look at the separation. He's soft. Yeah. Don't understand that. They don't understand that it's a crazy thing. You cannot have the craziest butt, okay, and just don't have shoulders, anything, and win a figure competition. Yeah. Oh no, but look at the butt. Yeah, okay, no.
That's why I think a lot of fans get upset when their guy doesn't win, or there's always boos when they announce 5th place, 4th place, 3rd place, because a lot of fans don't understand that the judges are looking for a total package. It's not going to be always the biggest guy. It's not going to be the most ripped guy, or like you said, Steve Laureus from the front double bicep pose. Oh my God. But if you turn him around, the rear double bicep's not quite the same. You have to be the person who's the best from all angles, the best in all poses. It's not the best legs. It's not the best biceps. It's not one thing. And that's a hard thing for a lot of fans to grasp.
The fans, especially the fans. Yeah. Because look, I mean, what I feeling, I'm frustrating. I think you notice I'm kind of frustrated. And I'm frustrated.
I see that.
Because I become kind of like a villain in this fucking industry.
No.
Because here's the thing, I competed with popular guys. And every time that I beat some guys, I'm like, the comments, you see how it comes, And it's like, I never been in any problem, and I never been in any circumstances, or I've been clean my entire career, long career, if you compare with a lot of the guys. Yeah. And people trying to tag me as a villain, and I, there's a point that I accept that thing. I accept that, you want me to tag me as a villain, I'm gonna be the villain. I'm gonna beat you guys. They pissed off because, I compete with some other popular guys, and I'm acting against the guys. It's just the fans, right? Yeah. And even the media, because let me tell you this. You guys gonna support the ones that bring you more likes and more outlet in your things. And I am not that guy. And it's gonna be some kind of comments and some kind of stuff and against me, and not against me, but not favorably. All favorably to other guys, and I understand that, but that tag is kind of like a billion, and I see it too many times, and even, do you remember when I took my number and at the New York Pro? Yeah, and I was like, he was doing this and that, like, well,
people were talking a lot of shit about you.
2018, everybody have a phone. How you don't have a video? Yeah. How everybody's like here backstage taking this, and they don't have a video. Alex doing that because he wasn't. You
didn't do that.
What?
Did you throw your number away, or people just said?
No, I took. And on stage, I took my name, my number. That's right. Okay. And there's in a video. And people like, well, okay, why he did? Took my freaking number. And that's the worst thing you say, like the most unsportsmanship things ever in the world. Take your number.
It's not like you smashed your trophy on stage. I've seen that.
Come on, bro. Come on. And I don't see, I think I've been behaving very professional my entire career, in every show. Every time that I have interaction with everybody, you know me, since I was not even an NPC competitor. I wasn't even an NPC competitor, you know me. And I didn't be in anything. So, I feel that. And I kind of enjoy it because, if
you can't be a villain, Alex. Come on. You can't be a villain. No.
If you beat if you beat them, their guys, you probably is gonna end up being, which I like it.
I mean, that's the thing, is everyone's got their favorite. The fans have their favorite, and they don't want anybody to beat their favorite. And if you beat their favorite, they don't like you. It's nothing personal. Your fans, when you get beat, when it happens, they probably hate the guys that beat you. Like that son of a, the politics or whatever. They probably think that guy's an asshole because he beat you. It's just the way it is. But let's switch gears here. Let's talk a little bit about the prep. Neil Hill, still your coach, yes?
Yeah.
How long have you been working with Neil now?
Neil, it's going to be 3 years.
Wow. Yeah. So he must know your body very well by now. I mean, did it take a while for him to figure out how to get you peaked properly for a contest, or was it pretty quick?
No, it was pretty quick. Yeah. I mean, my body it's not a a body that has been in too much stuff or suffering too much. It's pretty what do you say?
Fresh.
It's pretty fresh. So everything that we change, you can tell that it shows. Good or bad, it shows fast. So we make the adjustments. As a 212. I think we did very good, right? Because I started with Neil. We did 2 shows, second place second place at Chicago, pro as a 212, yeah. And then we went to Vancouver, and I placed 7. That was the worst place that I have as a 212, wow. Right? But I qualified for the Olympia, right? And Neil told me not to do in the Olympia because my body was tired and I didn't do a really good diet. So when I started doing classic, the first kind of like prepared mostly I feel like we did as a 212, right? And we did the Pittsburgh Pro. And you see your body, it looks like that. It looks like, thick and, I kind of like, look. And you learn because I didn't know that kind of look, that how that look changed from classic and the 212. It's a big difference that if you don't pay very good attention, you don't notice, but it's big. Okay. So I'm like, wow. And then we went to the New York Pro. And at the New York Pro, I think we look more classic. I mean, I'm talking about classic not as people like I have a picture of the old school thing and it looks like that. No. I talk about like tighter, more the shape is completely it's more fine, right?
Yeah.
So we gotta like that the New York Pro. But like I said before, you need grainy separation, not extraction, but like you need all this and fullness. So we actually did all that, but the fullness wasn't there.
Yeah.
You can tell like, wow, my condition was I was sharp. You notice like compared to Kieran, I was very sharp. I mean, next to him, I actually looked very sharp, but he was full and nice, and I wasn't full. Right. So we figured it out that in needle and for the Olympia, right? But not as the point that we get in Italy, right? Because we still have like, okay, it's the Olympia, so yeah, I know that I can give you that, but I still have, So we did mostly the same as New York, a little bit more food and stuff. We got a little bit better, but still, it wasn't full. Now, when we went to Italy, Neil was open to do things. Right. He didn't care, as much as a place, So we were like, okay, we're gonna do this. Boom, and the freaking change, like the roundness of the muscle, it was a complete change. So yeah, we learned from that, and we used the same method and to the Arnold.
So did you learn that you need a lot more food, like the last week, something like that?
No, we actually play with lowering my carbs because for the other shows we put more carbs in my body, right? Yeah. And I started full it up and I getting tight and right away and the overload, like kind of like and instead of getting tight, it started getting soft and holding. It felt over, right? Yeah. And we find out that I kind of like holding more with low carbs and then progressively putting carbs, then just put carbs strong like that right away, right? Or the day before or after the weigh-in, But the thing is that because I have to make the weight, it's very you have to be very specific in everything and the water and all this stuff, right? Yeah. Because we learned actually that cutting my water, it doesn't make me look good. It really get flat on myself. So we never cut water like that, So it's kind of like some 6 hours, something like that. You kind of like cut the water, like right, really, yeah. But not like that, like most competition you do. But you learn that, maybe for the other competition through the process, you have to change something. It is not going to be the same, but at least you kind of have a map of how my body react. We actually tried before junk food to when we're fooling out, right? Like getting vegan and stuff like that. I got sick because I never eat like that, so it doesn't work to me. And most people keep that mentality like, yeah, that works. Yeah, it can work in your body, but you got to make the athlete sick. Yeah. So when you perform on stage, it's not good.
Yeah. I mean, if you've been eating chicken breasts and rice, fish, you've been eating super clean for 15, 16 weeks, and then you start eating donuts and French fries and all that.
Yeah.
Your stomach is gonna not. It's not gonna be
diarrhea, bro. I swear. And Neil was like, "Get a burger. I need you to eat calories." Okay, I'm going. Boom. I eat the thing, and I have to stay in the restaurant for like 20 minutes because I'm going to the restroom, bro. Really bad.
We've all been there. So, yeah, I want to know what your 2020 was like. Did you were you able to train the whole time, or did you always have access to a gym during the quarantine?
Yes. I've been training. I didn't stop. I own a private gym, and it's a full gym. It's kind of like a studio, but it's the size of a kind of like a small regular gym. And that's so I was work out with one of my friends. So yeah, we didn't stop. Maggie stopped.
Yeah, what? She didn't want to train. What's going? Why'd she stop?
No. She got quarantine vacations or something.
Oh, okay. Was it now? Is this your gym that you own this private gym?
Yeah.
So you must have had so many people texting you and calling you, Alex. You got to let me train there.
60 messages. I'm kidding. 60. But if I'm not a guy of a phone guy. I never answered my phone mostly. I use WhatsApp. So if you send me a regular message, sometimes I even check, right? And so I didn't check any of those. And Maggie told me, "Oh, someone write me that I write to Alex and he didn't respond." So like I checked like 60. And let me tell you, probably 50 of them were like, Are you able to give me access to your gym? Can I pay to train at your gym? Like, I'm not going to tell anybody secretly. You know? But the problem is that you have people around like that you really like these people. So if I have a good relationship with everybody, if I let any one person getting in, I have to let everybody, bro.
Yeah, I know.
You know, because of the relationship that I have with everybody. Couldn't do that, you know? So I have close friends that I was like, no, I can't do that.
Wow.
Because, yeah.
So let's talk Olympia. We got 12 weeks. When did you start your prep?
We started, I've been working out and my diet is pretty clean, right? So it's not that I'm not being in track. So, but we started a prep this Monday.
Okay, so a little less than 12 weeks.
Yeah,
so, I mean, you stayed in shape. You never got out of shape after.
No,
right?
No, not at all.
What do you have to weigh for classic for your height? Is it 192?
Not 192.
So how heavy do you let yourself go before you start coming down?
Neil told me not past 212.
That's good. So wow. Let me do some math here. So 20 pounds, right? Yeah. I mean, is it hard for you to get to 192? Do you have to drop a lot of water in a sauna and all that?
No. I never do sauna or anything like that. Because, like I told, I had a video that I posted recently. I think it was just yesterday or 2 days ago, right? And then you hear Neil is talking and saying, like, you look very sharp and lean. That's why I can give you more cardio. Mm. And that was like 3 weeks, out of the Arnold. And that's the thing. So we kind of like get to a point that we can manage 5, 3, 2 pounds, something like that. So again, I don't have to cold my waters that way or anything like that. So it's not being really hard to get the weight actually. So like, contrario, most people think that I've been kidding myself probably, but not really.
Yeah, well, that's good because you talk about fullness is something. It's a lot of guys can get lean, but they lose their fullness, and that's a very bad thing because you don't have that pop, and you stand next to a guy that's got full round muscles, and you don't. Yeah. The judges pick that guy basically. So it's good that you stay in what Lee Haney called striking distance, because then you don't have to suck down.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So, how do you want to? What are we going to see different in your physique from the Arnold Classic to the Olympia?
I think you gotta be more separation in my quads, like my hamstrings and my glutes. My quads have very good separation to stay next to anybody, but the separation of them. Now, the size, it's not, because what happened is that my body is, like I told, is very balanced. So if we pass that, I'm gonna lose what I have in advantage to the other guys, right?
Yeah.
But I think that we can get deeper, more detail on these areas, um, because if we can um, 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 get better, like get into another level or in this area, I think there's nobody in the lineup that can beat me in a back double bicep, really. You know, so that's something that we're gonna work on it. In the other areas, I think we're gonna have a dogfight. We got a dogfight.
I hope so. I hope so.
You know, it's not nothing that this guy have. No. We have some to battle, but I think in the back I can take an advantage. You know, and that's what I told you about, condition and things like that, because I mean, the condition is not something that is just reaching, it's going to occur, but the thickness and those details in the back that people are not looking at, because it's been, and this is and I'm not in that probably era, but this era is crazy with glutes and hamstring. You see, all the guys have incredible, not balance, they forget the back, you know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, because a lot of people made the argument last year when Bumstead beat Breon. They said, well, I don't understand. He doesn't have a back like Breon. He doesn't have biceps like Breon. How does Breon lose to him? But, like you said, it goes back to overall balance, and it's a lot of different factors the judge are looking at. But I want to ask you.
We don't know if he lose that pose.
Yeah, I mean, Bumstead doesn't have a terrible back. He just, Breon's back is a little bit better. His arms are definitely better, but it's not a body part contest. It's a physique contest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Do you feel like you're in a better spot for Olympia than a lot of the guys who are going to be going, because you qualified way back early February? Is it early February? No, late February. But you had your qualification 8 months before the show, so you didn't have to worry about it. There's still guys right now trying to qualify. And some of these guys, they had contests they wanted to do back in May, they were canceled. June, July, August. They've been dieting and prepping and peaking and then going back and forth with their diet because, contests have been canceled and postponed. Someone like yourself, someone like Breon, someone like Bumstead, who are qualified way ahead of time, do you see that as an advantage over these guys who have been trying to prep and peak multiple times this year already?
Well, it depends, because we're not active. As a competition actor, it's like expecting an NBA player that is not playing going to a full, game speed. Practice completely different. So we are not in prep. So probably you have to be very careful not to catch you on a surprise when it comes very close to the competition. You're like, wow, or being prepping for too long. And then, because this is something new, actually. And that's in our part. And the guys that I've been competing and all this stuff, we did the same thing. Yeah. We did the same thing, and we come out okay. It's not like, that's what you have to do. It's not something that you're unlucky. No. I mean, let me tell you this. The people like thinking like you have the opportunity to qualify in October, November, December. So it's about time. You have the opportunity right away after the Olympia. Actually, I did a show after the Olympia.
The Yamamoto, the Italy show.
Yeah.
You were second to Breon there, right?
Yeah.
Not a bad.
Yeah, but the face game I won it. Okay. Yeah, I won the face game. We don't have a good smile. But good smile. But look at me.
Breon's got a nice smile. Breon's got a good smile too. Let's get that. You must be excited. I think every athlete that's doing the Olympia has to be excited because this is such a crazy year, and we weren't even sure there was going to be an Olympia. I wouldn't have been totally surprised if they had just canceled the Olympia. But Jake Wood, the new owner, Dan Solomon, Tamara Gundy, they're making sure this thing's going to happen. And we just got some news yesterday that Planet Hollywood's opening up October 8th. So the casino, everything's opening back up in Las Vegas. So things are looking good. I mean, are you psyched for this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, bro. Oh. I'm even more excited than any Olympia than this one. You know, especially with the new venue and all the stuff. Like, I want to see the stage. Sometimes you even think about you, but I don't want to see those guys getting into that stage. I was impressed when you get into the stage in the other arena. I want to see this one and the impression of everybody. You know, that's so nice. Yeah.
This is going to be, I looked up, you know, it's so many major pop stars like Lady Gaga and tons of major stars have played in that arena, played in that theater. So it's going to be, it's a lot better than the Orleans Arena. It's set up more like a theater, you know, where the other one was more like, I don't know, like you could put a basketball game in there, a hockey game, who cares? But this is like the type of theater we want for bodybuilding, with the seats go up and it's just a stage in front. You're not going to be seating all around and looking at the guys from the side, none of that crap. This is the way it's supposed to be.
No, so. It's going to be really nice. The other thing is that if you see how Dan Solomon have, it's kind of like free to do a lot of stuff, and you know how active he is. You know, so he's been creating, you know, such a, even with this time and no shows and all this stuff, you're still feeling, you know, the Olympia is coming, and you know, I mean, he's been doing a good job promoting the Olympia, you know. So I expect the Olympia not that before was good, but I think that now it's kind of like more open to, like, he's free to do a lot of stuff that before wasn't, you know, able to do it. Look, we have a new venue just to start that.
We're back on the Strip. The Orleans was nowhere near the Strip. Nowhere near. It would take you a half hour fast walking to get to the Strip just from the Orleans. Now we're right there. We're next to other major casinos. This is good, man. I'm psyched. This is going to be
fun. This is going to be great, bro. Yeah.
Man, I want the first call out. I want the head judge, probably Steve Weinberger, to say, Chris, Rion, Alex, Terrence, and somebody else. I don't know. We'll have 5 guys. But I fully expect you in that first call out. I want you battling these guys. I want it to be a dogfight. I don't want one guy to dominate the show. I want it to be a battle. That's what's fun to watch when you don't know.
No. It's going to be a battle. Because, I mean, if you know about the industry, you can tell that we get into that level. And I think that it's not that I don't appreciate those guys. I respect so much those guys that I try to get the level. You know, and I've been in the industry for time now, and for the last 2 years, I've been, you know, I've been trying to chasing these guys, and I think we're at the level. I'm not saying that I can be there right now. Yeah. I trying to, you know, and I think I'm gonna bring something really good to do so. But yeah, my point is that it's very competitive. It's very competitive. And it should be Brian and Sebon at the beginning of the list for you know, because they deserve, you know, it should have been talking about them.
But then we got this guy, the Arnold Classic champion. Go to Instagram, guys. Let's give this guy some more follows. It's Fello, FELLO _ Cambronero, CAMBRONERO. I'm sure you guys can see that. Give him a follow.
Se habla español.
Yeah, he speaks Spanish. He speaks a little bit of Spanish. It's not that great, but no, he's from Costa Rica, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he speaks perfect Spanish, guys. So you can you can hit him up in Spanish. But great stuff, and you're gonna start putting up more content, more stuff.
Yeah, I have. This is just that
2 days ago. All right, you're good. Some posing September 18th in the kitchen. It looks like, yeah, very nice kitchen. I like those cabinets. Yeah.
Thank you, bro.
But Alex, yeah, wishing you the best of luck. I'm excited to see you at the Olympia this year because, you know, you've never really come into the Olympia as one of the favorites, and this time you definitely are. You know, the Arnold Classic is a tough title to win, and you won that. So now you're up against Brian, you're up against Bumstead, and you're gonna bring the fight to these guys like the way it should be. It should be a battle. So
yeah.
So
Very respectful. I'm going to, yeah. I respect those guys, man. I respect everybody and competing because I know that everybody next to you is not going to be the same guy next year. So everybody deserves the respect. And I look it up to those guys, but I also, I'm not putting myself in that spot around really, really, really. I don't want to be like one of the favorites in something like that. I want to be the same guy that have the motivation of being, not mentioned, underdog, whatever you want to call it, because the villain. I want to be a villain, trying to get into the guys. But but I also see. I know that there's guys there. I don't trust those guys. Those guys. Those guys are very good. Like not calling Terrence is disrespectful. Terrence is a mortal guy. He's a bad boy. And there's another guys, the Latinos there that I hope they do very well, And but there's a lot of guys that it doesn't always happen, And I'm gonna be careful with these guys.
Well, in the end, only one man can win. So you all want that win. That's what you're there for. That's what you're training every day for. You're dieting your butt off. Now, do you still train with Flex Lewis at all?
Yes. I'm starting going to Flex, I think, on Tuesday and Sundays that we do in Lex. Huh? So he just told me that Hassan Mustafa and Kamal gonna be here for the camp. Wow. So it's gonna be very interesting because I'm a victim always that train those guys. Those freaking guys are so strong. Yeah. They don't respect my weight. They put the same weight. Sometimes I see those guys just walking to the cars and like that, and I can't even walk. I'm just like, fuck, I'm gonna stay here for like 15 minutes.
Hassan Mustafa's legs are like this. They're like almost like Rami legs. They're ridiculous. Big legs. I mean, his legs are actually almost, I don't want to say too big, but they're freaking enormous. So yeah, those will be some fun leg days you're gonna have with those guys.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Alex, thank you so much for taking the time. Guys, give him a follow on Instagram, Fello, FELLO _ Cambronero. He speaks Spanish. If you're a Latino, you can message him in Spanish. Hopefully he'll answer you back. And that's it, man. We're gonna be following you for the next 12 weeks as you prepare for the Olympia weekend in Las Vegas.
I appreciate it, Ron. Appreciate that you always take me in consideration. I hope you can come to the Redcon 1 gym and we can get something there.
Creo que sí. Bro. Creo que sí.
We can do some video training.
Boca Raton, yeah? Is that what it is?
Boca Raton, yeah.
I already have the shirt. I mean, come on. Yeah. All right.
You can get in. I gave you a pass.
Yeah, just I'll call you ahead of time. You can give me a day pass or something.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Alex. Looking forward to seeing the Olympia stage. And everybody, thanks for watching Ronline Report with this man, Arnold Classic 2020 Classic Physique Champ, now preparing for the Olympia, Alex Cambronero. We'll see you next time.